You know, fact of the matter is YouTube can be really expensive. Where is it? It's right here. You know, you get into YouTube, you start buying lenses, cameras, and sure, you can use your phone, and that's how I got started. But a lot of YouTubers spend a lot of money on things like the lenses, and this is a classic ZV-1 first generation, amazing value. 4K, beautiful colors, incredible autofocus. I bet you can pick one of these up used for like $400 or $500. But is that really the right thing to do? Well, I had to find out for myself, and that brings us to this. And I'm excited to open up this box because what we have is we've got a lens that's going to replace this camera lens, which is a 35 millimeter Sony G Master lens, and this is an older Sony lens, 50 millimeter f1.4, and it should give us lots of beautiful bokeh in the background, and I'm thinking it'll be a little bit more pronounced, larger kind of spherical bokeh balls, if you would. But there is a problem with this. Now, this video is not sponsored. There may be an affiliate link down below. I'm not sure. I really just wanted to make this video and share that I think today, if you're getting started and you want to take that next step with really shooting videos on a camera, man, is this ever a great way to go? Now, this is a fixed lens camera. You can't change the lens, and I'm shooting on a full frame Sony a7S III here. Beautiful colors, great autofocus, and I can change the lenses, which brings us back to this. Now, here's the deal. I bought this lens for about 70% off. 70%. Instead of spending like $1,000, $1,100, I was able to pick this up for just a bit over $300. But again, there's a catch. Now, I bought this from a company called KEH. And what's interesting about KEH is that they offer a money-back guarantee. So this might not work out very well. And the reason I say that is because this particular lens is rated by KEH. You see, everything that you buy through KEH has this rating, and a lot of the ratings are like new. People buy a camera, they decide it's not for them, they send it back, and it's like new. And then you have like excellent and great and solid, and then at the bottom you've got bargain. And yes, this lens from KEH is a bargain lens. Please reuse this box. Okay. And I'm really curious to see kind of what we get when we open this particular box and we check out the lens. Now, I'm very, very excited about this lens. I've never really had a great 50 millimeter prime. Now, why 50 millimeters? Well, it's this nice kind of zoomed in effect where you're going to get a nice background blur based on what's called compression. The background is kind of compressed, everything is compressed together, and because we're zooming in, we get bigger kind of bokeh balls and more out of focus area. And typically, a lot of people think about 50 millimeter lenses as great for portraits. Now, with this lens, I have no worries at all when it comes to photography, but there's this thing called focus hunting where you get this kind of pulsating thing, and oh boy, here we go. I do not see a box. Oh gosh, okay. Oh, here it is. Now, the good news, oh, this doesn't even have it doesn't have a cap on the bottom. Oh my good, there's no lens cap. Oh boy, what did I get myself into? So here it is. There's no lens cap on the front. That's not good. There's no cap on the bottom, so there could be a lot of dust in this. And again, it's bargain. But let's see. Like, the fact of the matter is, wow. Like, I don't know if you can kind of see that, what that'd look like. I see the professional YouTubers doing this. That ain't me, but so as long as the lens isn't scratched, there's no damage, as long as I can focus, the focus seems a little loose. It looks like it's got a clickable aperture. That looks good. And there's also a manual and autofocus motor, or button, I should say. So manual and autofocus button here on the sides. So being able to buy this lens for photography, for portraits, beautiful creamy bokeh background, incredible. So far, I think this looks okay. Like the lens looks pretty okay. And you know, I can come up with the caps and whatnot, and to save 70% is awesome. So I think what we need to do now is trade out this particular lens and see what we get. Let's check it out. Alrighty, so now we're using the brand new, really old, and boy, is it a bargain. When I put the lens on the camera, I noticed there's like some jiggle and wiggle. I think I'll take it into Mike's camera, see if they can kind of do some repairs, make it a little bit tighter of a seal. But regardless, so far, like the autofocus, it looks like it's doing just beautiful. And I know this lens is extremely sharp, and I don't see a lot of focus breathing right now, which is that kind of pulsing. And definitely the bokeh, like I think the bokeh looks a lot larger, the kind of candle balls in the background. And notice what happens when I come in. You notice how that bokeh gets larger and larger. But obviously this is kind of a little creepy, but man, looks like a Michael Mann movie, speaking of man. So there you have it. I think all in all, this is such a great example of where it just makes a lot of sense for me to see what kind of value I can get today in the cameras, Sony cameras that I'm using, because there are so many lenses. And at the end of the day, it's really the glass that you add onto your camera that makes the difference. And here, I wanted more bokeh. This is going to be really fantastic for portraits. And I saved some $650. Incredible. And I think it's going to be just fine. I mean, I'm going to have to be careful, and we'll see what Mike's camera can do with a repair. It's okay. I wouldn't be worried about taking it out, but I would want to be very careful with the lens. Is this too close? Do you think this looks a little too close? Like again, the idea is the closer I get, the bigger the bokeh balls are in the background, but you know, you don't want it to be kind of too over the top as far as how close. It's just uncomfortable for the viewers, right? What are your thoughts? Are you on the phone team? Are you just, you know, I know a lot of people when they get started, like me, I got started with a phone, and it served me well. I drove hundreds of thousands of views, and there are a lot of channels that are doing that right now. Fact of the matter is, YouTube just released a report talking about what's most important. And the quality of the video is not. People really don't care. What they want is an emotional connection, or they want really great ideas, information, something that has them thinking in a new way. And obviously that's what I try to do on this particular channel, right? Is to share information that you find helpful. Anyway, there you have it. Another incredible 50 millimeter, but this is manual focus. So this has the swirly bokeh, but for video, I need to be in focus. So this, I think, is a great use of about $300. It's a nice 50 millimeter prime Zeiss lens, f1.4, and I nabbed it at a fantastic price. What do you think? Do this. This video on the screen right now really covers some of the additional YouTube tips, tactics, and more that you may want to check out. And do that. Check out that video, and I'll see you there. You dig?